We're back.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Femme Tell All podcast. We are back for another episode. We appreciate you being here.
We love you being here.
Yeah, and we're feeling good.
Yeah.
Feeling a little loosey-goosey.
Yes, we are.
So we're going to cover a bit more of a fun subject, which is the origin story, the villain story of how we became, I'm in my villain era, so I'm like really relating. But how we became friends, right? By the way, my name is...
Best day ever.
It is true. Yeah. It is true. It's the best day ever. I'm like so thankful. Honestly, the price that I will have paid for anything prior, any of the dues I had to do before getting to you.
Oh,
a worthy price of
honey.
admission. And I'm Madison Blismo, and you are?
Ruth Devereaux.
Fantastic. So, Ruth, why don't you, or should you start? Should I start? What?
Either way.
Okay.
I mean, I think you should start, and then...
Yeah.
I'll chime in when I come into the story.
You'll chime in.
Yeah.
Long story short, and that is my famous last words because I'm very long-winded.
We love it. We're here for it. That's why we started a podcast.
For all of my friends that received 7-minute voice memos from me, you're real ones. I love you. But yeah, so as far as I had developed a TV show with my friend Bailey. And we love you, Bailey. We were developing this TV show. We had a production company come on. We were working with some guys. We ended up cutting the majority of the production company to collaborate with us, except for one person. Mm-hmm. And that person continued developing the TV series with me and Bailey. And I happened to had just end a relationship around that same time. Yep. And at the end of that, like when I was coming up for air after the relationship heartbreak, I took interest. I had a crush on this guy that was working with us, mutual crush.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And he could tell that I needed a woman working on the show with me, or I was not.
Thank God. Thank God.
Thank fucking Jesus. Yes. Because I would have not. I was like in a boys club a little, and I was like, I need some feminine energy. And
Ruth
I did.
to the rescue.
And so truly, like, yes, you came in like a fucking superhero, an angel from above. He was like, oh, by the way, I asked my friend Ruth, who I've done a couple of projects with, to come on. And I was really nervous to meet you. I remember
this day so vividly,
oh my God,
by the way. Like, I remember you guys had invited me to a coffee shop. Mm-hmm. I had no idea what to expect.
Groundworks in North Hollywood.
Yes. Shout out. And I got very limited information from this mutual friend of ours. Mm-hmm. And I show up, and they're both sitting at the table. You're sitting there too.
Yeah.
And you and Bailey were so stoic-faced.
Really?
So stoic.
And me stoic?
Yes. No, you were. Like, you
really?
weren't, like, I think you were in business mode. Like, it definitely wasn't who you are and who I've grown to know you to be.
Sure, yeah.
But, like, you guys were definitely both business, and I sat down, I had my notebook.
Yeah, you were very business.
I was, yeah.
I appreciated it. You had notes on notes. I was like, let's go, honey. Yeah.
And I remember you told me the idea, and I fell in love with it. Mm-hmm. And we went through everything, and I gave you, like, my ideas. We went back and forth. I left that meeting. I had no idea what any of you guys thought of me.
Oh, my God, that's so funny.
Yeah, I was so nervous. I was actually very nervous during that meeting.
Really?
Because I was a very early producer at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I was very early in my career.
You knew what you were doing.
Thank you.
It's true.
But I didn't know. I didn't know what you guys thought of me. Like, obviously, like, another woman, like, love to work with her. Yeah. Like, and, like, I love working with people, like, that are just so creative and driven. And, like, you were very clearly that person. But I was so nervous. Yeah. And I didn't know how I came across. And so then...
She came across perfectly. I'm sorry. I'm going to chime in because it's so funny. Like, we've been friends for years now.
We've actually never talked about this.
We have talked about it, but not to this length, I think, which is hilarious. I was like, I loved you right away because you were so organized. First of all, like, it was so similar, someone like how I like to run a ship, you run a ship. So you came in like guns blazing and were like, cool. What's your product? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Where are you going? And I was like, yeah, so we're going to be pitching to FX and blah, blah, blah. And you were like, cool. Okay. And who do you have on? And I was like, we have these people on. And so like, it's funny that you were like, yeah, you were so stoic, because I felt like a child. I was 20.
So funny.
I was 24, 23 maybe.
I never would have thought that, honestly, meeting you and the way you carry yourself. Never would have thought that.
Thank you. Also, that's why I'm an old soul. 27 going on 45. So yeah.
And 38 going on 21.
There you go. It's true, actually. So I remember just sitting next. I think we sat next to each other.
Yeah.
And I loved you right away. And I know. Is the guy.
Hello.
Hey, he ended up being sick. We can't bleep it out. Bleep. Anyway, the bleeper came by and was like, do you like her? Like, he was like, really, obviously he wouldn't have brought you onto the project if he didn't think that you were like more than capable and amazing. And he knew he was like playing his ace, he was like, and I got her, and I looked at Bailey right away and I was like, I fucking love her.
You
and,
did?
Yeah.
Aww.
And I remember Bailey feeling the same way. I know Bailey still like, adores you so much. Hey, Bales. But yeah, I remember we both were just like, holy shit, she gets the vision. She's here and she's so professional. She knows her shit. And you were so like fun, I remember, but like very business focused. And I remember when you left, even mentioned about you. He was like, wow, that's the most like business I've ever seen Ruth. Because he was like, oh my God, she's wild. She gets crazy. And I was like, what?
That was my villain area.
Yeah. He was like, she gets wild. She gets crazy. I was like, in a good way. He wasn't talking shit. But he was like, she's so fun. And I was like, really? Oh my God. Yeah. I was like, I'm sold. Whatever she wants to do, I want her on the project. I was like, what can we give her? Like, I was just like, I need her on the project. And then we started working with you right away.
And that was amazing. Like, we had so much fun together. Our creative, like, visions just really combined. And we, we developed this TV show together. And that was the beginning of our friendship where I think we got so close because it wasn't only that friendship, but it was also that creativity and, like, just the parts of ourselves that really kind of, like, resonated with each other in that piece of us.
Yeah.
And then I think as that piece of us became closer and closer, then we opened up so quickly on different, and we've talked about this on different episodes where instantly we talked about things that were so above and beyond what the normal friendship really kind of like consumes.
I wish I could like play back, and see like who like broke the ice more. Because I feel like
that's a great question.
We both are so like pretty unapologetically honest and like we don't have many inhibitions, either of us.
In the best way.
Yes, in a positive way.
Yeah. In our eyes, at least.
Yeah. Us being fully biased. Yeah,
we're perfect.
Great.
Oh my God.
No, actually. We're actually amazing to be around.
That's the second time we've done that.
Yes, I know. I did say great. You said perfect.
Same,
it's not the same. So it is the same.
Same.
But yeah, so what I will say is I really am curious who broke that ice.
It's a great question. Like if I force myself to think back to when that happened, because like the first couple times of us hanging out, it was business focused.
Very business.
We did like walkthroughs of the location. Yeah. We did like creative like breakdowns. Yeah. We talked about episodes. Like
we were having business meetings like 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, if not more.
Yeah. We were getting together a lot.
That's such a good question.
But that's the funny part too, because then I had this like underlying crush, like
I had a crush
on
on you,
though. On me. I was like talking about.
I know.
That's amazing.
But I wanted to.
And this is where this turns into a romantic podcast. Yes. I've always had a crush on you. The crush is always mutual. We love each other. Yes, everyone knows it. Sorry, Neil. Deal with it. Sorry, future boyfriend for me. Deal with it. If I get there. Anyway,
no, future husband. Yeah, I'm speaking to you. She's mine.
Ownership. Yeah, but I remember like that was so funny because I had that. It was like so. Like, I felt like you guys were on to us because we would like play footsies under the fucking table.
I had no idea.
Dude. Okay, that's another subject. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, talking about us, I think that you probably, if I had to assume, I feel like you probably maybe
safe assumption.
Well, because I feel like I'm like that, but when I'm in business mode, I'm like, I'm Madison. Noah calls it Madison. She's like, oh, I'm speaking to Madison right now. I'm like, because I go by Madison and Maddie and Mads and all the things, but Madison is apparently my business persona.
And I think that's why I always call you Madison, because I met you as Madison.
Yeah, that's true.
And but now I'll go between Madison and Mads.
Yeah.
But like I think other people call you Maddie more so than anything.
No, that's so true. I've never even put that together too.
Yeah.
But I think you probably would have opened up or like broken the ice a little bit.
Yeah.
And do you think it was about like, what would you think we would relate on? Like maybe.
I think it's probably relationship stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's always the icebreaker. I think we talk about this a lot. Like I value so much women friendships. Mm-hmm. And I think that I was actually telling Neil about this, I think last night, where I was like, some of the benefits that women have over men is like, there's so many benefits men have over women. Let's be clear.
That's another day.
Yeah,
another episode.
But one of the benefits I think women like have in spades over men is the friendships that we create.
Yeah.
And how we can connect so easily and quickly and really form those deep bonds that are real and strong, because I don't know if it's just like the way women just open up or the way we're allowed to open up on a different level. But like, I think that I think that's what happened with us. But like, because we're so similar in so many of the important areas, when we opened up, it was like instantaneous. How you talk about me and Neil was a magnet. I think we had the same magnetism.
Totally.
Where we like.
Sorry, Neil. No, I agree. I think what you're getting at or pointing at, and this is not by any means a hot take. I know other people have said this, but what resonates with me is intimacy.
Yeah.
I think like women relationships, friendships, specifically platonically, can experience intimacy when I feel like two men in a friendship and a platonic relationship don't have intimacy. And I think like I'd love to.
Intimacy is such a great word.
Yeah, because I think it's that I think that's the major stark difference is like we and I will always like, that's why I think both you and I are, I'll speak for myself, and I know you're going to agree. Sorry. Is that we have such a high standard for our romantic intimacy because I experience so much beautiful intimacy in all of my friendships. I have the best friends, and I know you have amazing women in your life too. And it's like, because I'm able to experience intimacy with all people too, men and non-binary people, anyone. I experience so much intimacy in my friendships that's where like the bar is so high when we bring it to romantic relationships. But I think particularly for men, when they don't experience it in their friendships, that's why their girlfriends, wives, partners are always like their best friends. And it's like because they don't have that intimacy with others. And I think to bring it back to us, I think we had that intimacy right away where we just cared for each other
instantly. I definitely feel that. And I think that I don't know if I've spoken about this yet on here, but I've definitely told you before. But like, one of the main things that I learned from you in our friendship was the allowance to open up and uncover myself in the speed that felt the most comfortable for me. And I think that that's so rare. I think so many times people feel like to be the closest, you have to like unveil everything at the moment that you've decided to be friends with somebody. And you gave me such a safe space to say like, I'm your friend, I'll be your friend, but you can tell me what you want to tell me.
Yeah, of course.
And I thought that was so beautiful. And that's a lesson I've taken and I've shared with so many people, because you verbalized that to me in a way that was so like, it allowed me to open up to you more freely than I could to most people, because I knew this was a space that this person wasn't forceful, didn't require anything of me, was just here to be my friend because they wanted to be my friend and was going to support me regardless.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to our conversation that we've had on balance previously, where it's like, you felt that, and I feel that in our dynamic where it's like, we don't owe each other anything. Yeah. Like we are just here because we're actively choosing to be friends. Yep. And what a beautiful thing, you know, and like what a beautiful thing to like be able to sit back and be like, I'm supported, I'm loved, and not for any other reason, not because I'm bringing something to the table, not because obviously you want to bring everything. Of course, and it's funny, I think in that way, like you end up bringing so much more because you're like, I want to show up. I want to show up. Yeah. And I think
I have to say in this episode, one of the hardest points in my life was in a relationship where I was in a bad relationship, and I knew I was in a bad relationship, but I couldn't find my way out of it. And I was struggling so much, and I was hiding so much of that relationship because I was so ashamed of like everything that I knew I wasn't supposed to be in it, but I couldn't exit it for some reason, or like I kept like getting pulled back into it. And I think the only person I was ever fully like forefront about it with was you, because you allowed where you were like, I'm your support. I don't like want you to be in this, but like whatever you do and however you do it, I'm still here for you. Yeah. And that was one of the hardest things relationship wise. No, I don't want to say that. I want to say like it was probably the most confusing thing relationship wise that I've ever been in. Yeah. And one of the biggest supports I had through that was you. And I think that I've changed so much from that point, from when we first met, from being in that relationship to where I am now. And like we've evolved even in our friendship, and you've evolved with me because like I've changed as a person, but we've remained friends, and our friendship has gotten bigger and better, but like also like deeper through those time periods.
Totally. I agree. I'm sorry. I'm smiling because I'm just like so thankful for our friendship, and I adore you so deeply. I adore you. And that was such a hard time, and of course my heart hurt, and the Sicilian in me was like, I'll fuck anyone up that tries to get my girl. I literally was like, I'll throw hands. This man is twice my size. I don't give a fuck. I am scrappy. And if he hurts her emotionally, physically, even sends a bad fucking vibe her way, I am not doing it. She's done. He's done. Like, it's just, no, pulling her out, you're gone. Yeah. Never seeing her again, right. You know? But yeah, in the moment I was like, whatever you need. Because I was like, if I go to you and I'm like, fuck him, right. I hate him, he's the worst, he treats you like shit, you know, you'd be like, people, unfortunately, in toxic relationships like that, and I'm not trying to put that title on it.
No, it is. It was absolutely toxic. It was absolutely abusive in multiple different ways. Like, it was. Yeah. When I was in it, I couldn't see it.
Yeah, and you can't. And, and you're, unfortunately, a lot of the times when you're in those positions, you feel like it's me and them against the world. So even when you're amazing close friends or family or like, you know, a coworker or whatever, is like, yo, that's
I actually
not
remember
good.
My sister was visiting like during my confusing time, and I told her I still loved this person. Yeah. And she never responded. She didn't even react to my statement. She went to my mom and cried and said, I cannot believe she can still say that after everything. Yeah. After everything. Yeah. And when my mom told me that hurt me, and that cut me so deep, because like I couldn't see it still. I was like, no, I still love them. Like I still care about them. Yeah. And I just couldn't see it. And like it wasn't until I fully removed myself from that I could. And now like I can still look back now and look at the support and the love that I received from multiple people in my life, and mainly you as well. Like I don't know how you guys suffered through that, because like I know like even I've seen you like go through painful situations and like I physically hurt because you hurt.
Well, it is that, you know, you just feel it, and like unfortunately, and I think you've already shown an example of that with my latest relationship and the toxicity that I had to deal with, of like knowing like, of course you can be like, fuck that guy, blah, blah, blah. But like what at the end of the day is the real friendship and the real support is just being like, I'm here for you in whatever capacity you need. Yeah. And of course, if you're jumping off a cliff, I'm going to, try and get you back.
Pulling you back.
Yeah. But if you're like dancing on the cliff, I'm going to be like, hey, I'm right over here. Don't do that. Not to jump. Yeah. You know, it's like that kind of thing. It's like, you just got to, I think that's where and I think I got this, I don't know where I got this from, but it's something that I do actually admire about myself that I want to continue expanding on is like, I feel like I have a lot of trust for the people in my life, and sometimes that bites me in the ass, but for the most part, it is like, I trust the people. So it's like in those instances, you know, of course I wanted to be like, Ruth, don't do that, you know, or like, he doesn't deserve you. But it's like, at the end of the day, I was like, I trust Ruth, and I trust her knowing of herself and what she's able to do. And that goes for so many people.
Can I touch on something really quick?
Yeah, please.
I love that you said that you admire that about yourself, because I would love if we could take that and build on that a little bit, because like I think you're so amazing, and I think so many times when amazing people don't see all the factors of themselves, like it's hard for them to recognize or voice things that are so great about them. So like I love that you said that. I admire that about you as well, because you've said that to me as well. And like that, I really truly appreciate when you have voiced that to me, and I hope I make you feel the same way.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I would love to hear more things that you admire about yourself.
Do we need to do that this episode? Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm being bashful. Okay. Let's hear, as long as you agree to go.
I will. Maybe.
She's really putting me on blast. Okay, what I admire about myself, I think, I think what we touched on in the balance episode as well, of like, I really deeply, if you're in my group,
it's true.
I fucking die for you. Like, I love,
absolutely.
I'm very loyal. I love my people. Yes.
But also like amazingly.
No, totally. It's a fair point to bring up. Very loyal, very, devoted, I would say. And so if you are in my circle of friends, my family, I'm going to do anything and I will, like, we always joke that my dad will literally give his shirt off his back to anyone, and I try to emulate that as much as I can too, for people that I know and people I don't know. I'm like, I'm like, I'll suffer for you to feel better, which sometimes my therapist would say, don't need to go that far. Don't need to go that far, Maddie. So that I would say, and then Ari's laughing. But yeah, I mean, that I would say is something I admire, and I would say I really have a lust for life. Like, I really enjoy simple pleasures. Like, please, I beg of you, do not get me started on matcha, on popcorn, on like anything, like any of the simple everyday things. I'm like, did you see the sun today? Like, I literally love life. I really do. Like, I just love the little things, and I'm so tickled. And I'm one of those fucking lunatics that's like in public, and I'm be like walking in the grocery store, and I see like a father and son, and they do something cute, and I'm like, like pushing my cart. Like,
remember when we were walking that one
people.
time, and that wife, like, we were walking in our neighborhood, and this wife had arrived from obviously visit because she's having like a car service drop her off.
Yeah.
Her husband runs out
as soon as the car
hugs
got there.
her, and like they're like hugging and embracing each other, and me and Maddie were just like,
yeah, I like started tearing up. I was like, okay, well, that's
it was
good.
So sweet, but like,
it was so sweet, and that's, I think I enjoy
but I think
the
you bring
simple
that
lives.
to people's lives as well, because like I think like I think we enjoy that together, and like because you allow that to like and recognize that, because I didn't recognize, you pointed it out to me, and I was like, oh my god, and then we were able to experience that together. So you bring that to my life as well.
Well, thank you. I try to enjoy, all the things, because if you don't, then it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
You enjoy cooking as well.
I do love cooking. See, but don't get me started, because then I have like a full MLA format, like, so it's not good. But
we all benefit from that as well.
Well, Ruth, what do you love about yourself? And I do have a question after.
I love that I'm best friends with Maddie.
I love you so much. And okay, sorry. Continue.
I love my work ethic. I know that I will do my darndest to put as much effort as I can into anything that I do. I love the way I care for people as well.
Deeply.
I do.
Yeah, you deeply care for people.
Much like you, and I think that's what we connect on so well. I think that I love my relationships with people. I love deep conversations with people.
Yes, you're definitely like intellectual, that enjoys like all forms of conversations. Like you can talk about something that's super small and like small talk and fun and like hee hee yeah and be friendly, but then you are the person that is at the bar talking to the person that's like, I just went through a breakup. You're like, talk to me about it. Let's go. Like you are that person.
I genuinely do. I genuinely love learning about people and like I think that if you talk to people in an open way, you can hear the most incredible stories you would never experience.
Yeah. You learn so much.
So much. And I think the human experience is so unique and so special for all of us that like you don't know what somebody's gone through, you don't know where they've been, and like I genuinely enjoy hearing everybody's story and how they got to the point that they are today, because we're all in the same room, but we all got here differently.
Yeah. And for different reasons.
And for different reasons. Yeah. And we came up differently. We had different families, different, like, even different perceptions of our families. Like, we all have siblings, and, like, even the way our siblings experience the exact same parents and, like, growth that we had. Like, our perceptions are so different of it. So I love experiencing people. And I believe and I hope that makes the people that I interact with feel very heard and cared for. And I think I like that. Absolutely.
To answer, yes. Or at least personally, you know, I feel so cared for, and I know everyone does. You have that effect, like you just like kind of walk in the room. You know, Ari was even joking about it earlier. Like, you're just a babe. First of all, she's a babe. No. And then, you know, you're so charming and like, effortless to converse with, that I think a lot of people like just feel warmth in your presence, which I think is. Thank you. Well, you started it, bitch. I'm kidding. As
we both cry.
Yeah,
and we're done. Thank you, bye.
I do have one last question for you, Ruth.
Yes, shoot.
What have been some of your like most fun moments with me or like with us specifically?
Great
like
question.
Favorite memes.
Oh my God, there's so many. The concert we went to.
Oh shit, Phineas.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started. I love Phineas so much, but yes,
it was. I didn't know about Phineas, and you took me to that concert, and I fell in love with the music. We had such a great night there.
So fun.
I remember at the end there was that VIP section, and you're like, we can't get in, and I was like, no, we can get in, and I was like, I walked in, and she was still too scared. I was like, come in.
No, literally. And then you're like hanging out with Cautious Clay, who's another artist,
and I had no idea who they were.
That's Cautious. And I'm like standing above them, and you're like, come in. And I'm like, she's just standing
I'm like, just act like you belong, they'll let you in.
See, that's the difference of our personalities. I will have a VIP ticket and still be like, am I allowed to come in? And she's like, hey, I'm VIP, obviously. And it's great.
One of my favorite moments, though, because like I love music, but I don't think I love it and know as much as you do. And you introducing me to that and like us having such a great night together.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite memories with you. Also us going to the dessert place together, just like a random date night. Also a very core memory for me.
Core.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, genuinely, like, what is it? Malay? Yeah. It's French. But yes, it is. That was, and I think just my face alone, I like took my first bite and I was like,
yes, she was so happy, and it made me so happy because I was like, I know she loves food like I do, and I was like, I have to introduce you to this dessert place. Yeah. And we go there, and she ate it, and she was just like eating it in the street and like dancing down the street, and I was like, I got so much joy from watching her. And then she was like, I think I can make this. I was like, please make it. Like, I don't know. Like, whatever we can do to get this moment back. I
think I can make it.
I think you could.
But yeah, I think that was something super special for that same night. I actually loved that night because I was going through a breakup. Yeah. Why am I always going through a breakup? No. I promise I'm not, but like at that time. And we'd gone out to dinner, and he was texting me, and he was like, hey. And I was like, oh my God, this is so healing.
So true. Yeah.
This is so healing because I was so over him. And I remember.
Can I tell you another like kind of like off memory that like I love that you probably don't even remember?
Sure.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this. There was a moment. No. It's not. No. There was a moment where you needed me to take you to your car one morning.
We can talk about this. Actually, I think we need to talk about this. Okay.
And like, it was like, yes. And you called me, and I was like, where is your car? And you're like, it's in here. And I was here, and I was like, okay, I'll come get you. And we got stuck in traffic, and we were in traffic for like an hour or something, but it was like we were listening to music and we were having fun. Yeah.
No, I think we should tell the story. I know we're going to go over a little, but I'm sorry. This is a funny
story. But that's
story.
also a core memory for me, and you probably would never think of it, but like it was like, but for me, what it meant was like you knew you could rely on me.
I could, yeah.
And like I felt good to be able to like do for you.
Yeah.
And like it was just a car ride, but like it was like it felt good that you called me.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Well, first of all, I called you because I knew there would be no judgment. Because this is kind of this was a fun time in my life. I was exploring myself. Let me just give some.
Listen, just so you all know, we're very sex positive here.
We are sex positive here.
And there's no judgment. And if you have judgment, please exit now.
So I was seeing a guy. And he's lovely. Yeah. He's so lovely.
Very sweet boy.
So sweet. And I'm very big on sexual health too. Yeah, so I was waiting to sleep with him until we were both tested. So we had been dating but not slept together. Yeah. And we had gone on a date that night, and I was supposed to go to the bungalow to hype up my other friend to get her someone. So we go to the bungalow. He dropped me off at the bungalow because him and I had a date that night, and my car was in his neighborhood. Yeah. Okay? So we're just setting up the scene. Again, a guy that I was seeing, but not exclusively.
No, it wasn't exclusive.
It wasn't exclusive. He knew. And we had not slept together because we were waiting on his results, but I had gotten my results back. And so I'm at the bungalow, and one thing leads to another, and an FBI agent started hitting on me, and I was like...
And who says no to the badge?
No, he whipped out the badge. He didn't, his friend whipped it out first, and I was like, this is fake. You guys are lying. Yeah. He didn't lie. He's an FBI agent, because I ended up going
Even when she's telling me the story the next day, I'm like, did you see the badge? Like, we need clarification.
No,
she was like, yeah, I saw it. I was like, okay.
So
she did see all of it.
I saw all of it. So I started talking to this guy that was an FBI agent, and
he was hot.
He was extremely attractive. Extremely attractive. And he was also extremely cocky. So he was like, "You going home with me tonight?" And I was like,
yes.
No. Maybe. And I might have gone home with him, might have not. And I
got a call the next morning.
My car was stuck at my other guy's house. So I had to be like, hey, I can't tell him my car's still there.
Right.
And I need to get it early enough so that he doesn't see
wake
my
up and
car
see it. Exactly.
on his street.
I mean, things happen.
And this is called friendship.
We took a ride. We
did.
Listened to some music.
It was so much fun.
I got caught up on the night.
Yes. And it was a great story.
To me, it's a core memory.
It is a core memory. And thank you. I forgot about that entirely. Not entirely, but about that interaction that you took me to my car in the morning.
I reverse the question to you now.
Oh, God. There's so many things. I feel like you've saved me on so many accounts. But I would say when we've been developing this podcast, how many times we've gone out and just had fun and just for inspiration, gone out with our girlfriends. We have so many like friends, including Ari, that we've gone out with and just like fucking having fun, just like throwing caution to the wind. I think one thing that we always joke about is we get like free stuff a lot of the time, or people are just so nice to us.
Like, I don't know how this happens, and I don't want to be like those girls that are like, I don't know. But I genuinely don't know how this always happens.
Yeah.
Even after we went out to dinner for my birthday, where we got like 3 dishes free, we went to 7-Eleven so I could get a scratcher. Yeah. And we got a free cookie there.
Oh, yeah. The guy, he gave it to you. Yeah.
We got a free cookie.
It's rude. But yeah, no, genuinely, like I think it's the energy that we bring. So I'm not trying to like cop out of this answer, but like any night that I have with you, and even like the shitty ones, we've had some really shitty nights, like where not like the night between us was, but like the day was, and then we got together that night and just like watched Sex and the City or watched like How to Be Single or something like that, and drank rosé and ate burgers. Like we love eating burgers together. So I would say any night that's involved with you and going out and having fun and getting a burger and drinking. Yay. Those are my favorite memories.
I love those.
So find yourself a Ruth
and a Madison,
and you'll be good to go.
And start a podcast.
Life advice.
Thank you guys for joining us again. We know we went a little bit off here, but like hopefully you get to know us a little bit more. Hopefully you have a friend like this in your life. If not, again, we just want to reiterate, we are those friends for everybody that's watching. Please reach out. Let us know if you have questions. Let us know if you're in the LA area and you want to visit, or if you're not and you want to be on a call or a Zoom and you want to be on the show, like whatever it is, we are your friends. We are here. We are for everybody out there. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.